Can day trading be a truly viable career, or is it really just a more sophisticated form of gambling? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you coming up. Yes, guys, you hear it all the time that there's only a 10% success rate and that people always are constantly blowing up their accounts, and that all day trading really is just a more sophisticated form of gambling. Well, I'm going to answer that question for you and kind of give you some things to think about. But first, I just want to welcome you to this channel. Hi, my name is Brad, and this is Own the Chaos. You know, the finance world, the business world is a crazy and chaotic place, and it's my job to help you own it. So if you want to learn more about those two things, I certainly would appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel as I put out videos every single day as it relates to those two topics. Speaking of topics, on to today's, I want to talk about day trading and can it be a viable career or is it just gambling? And so you see this all the time. It's everywhere. There's 90% of the people who start out day trading fail. And that's true. So it's a real fact. It's a statistic, but it never really goes into people who actually persist. I blew my account up twice before I finally got it, before I finally learned how to manage risk and started to turn this into a real career. But it didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen in the first 30 days. It took years for me to get to a point to where I felt comfortable enough to where I could just leave my job and do this full time, which honestly is really just like any other career. How many people out there spend 4 years going to college so they can get a professional job making $50,000 a year, and then they're also $150,000 in student debt? So ask yourself, just how risky is that compared to day trading? Here's some other fun facts about being professional at just about anything. Let's take a look at the trades, for example. So if you're an electrician, an HVAC technician, if you're a mechanic, if you're a plumber, according to careertrend.com, journeymen are experienced professionals at their trade with 4+ years of education experience. They have learned all of the basics of the profession and are likely to develop expertise in one or more specialty areas. A journeyman electrician earns average of $24 per hour. A journeyman plumber earns an average of $23-27 per hour. That's a lot of time to just earn $25 an hour. To go into this further, reaching master status, it takes 7 or 8 years of professional experience to qualify to sit for the exam for a master plumber or electrician license. So this all takes work. Imagine that. Not only that, but how many parents out there are hoping that one of their kids can become a professional baseball player or a professional athlete of some sort? Well, according to another study here, less than 3 in 50, or about 5.6% of high school senior boys interscholastic baseball players will go on to play men's baseball at NCAA member institution. Less than 11 in 100, or about 10.5% of NCAA senior male baseball players will get drafted by a Major League Baseball team. And approximately 1 in 200, or approximately 0.5% of high school senior boys playing interscholastic baseball will eventually be drafted by an MLB team. But how many parents out there go crazy over their kids playing sports in hopes that one day they'll be professional players? It's crazy. Now here's the reality about day trading, and I thought that daytrading.com said it best here when they asked the question, is day trading for a living possible? The first thing to note is yes, making a living on day trading is a perfectly viable career, but it is not necessarily easier or less work than a regular daytime job. So here's the kicker, guys. You see everything on YouTube, you see everything around social media about how you can get rich quick. This is an overnight thing, and you can, in 3 weeks time, you could be, take $100, turn it into $1 million, and be riding around in your Lamborghini and flying to the moon and all that bullshit, right? Wrong. And that's one thing that I've always tried to imply here on this channel, is that day trading is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's not even for everybody, but everybody can try to learn it. And if you feel like it's not for you after a certain period of time, then that's fine. But I always encourage people, this is a process. If you don't get it in the first month, shocker, you're not going to be able to become a professional plumber in the first month, electrician. You're not going to be able to become a professional baseball player in the first month you try out baseball. This takes time. It's a skill just like any other skill. And I think that the longer you're in it, the longer you learn certain patterns, the longer you observe price action and how all of that works out. I think it's just like anything else. The longer you stay in something, the more experience you gain in trading, the better you become. And so then it becomes less like gambling. Somebody that comes in right off the street and just throws money at a particular stock because they think it might go up, or they just buy Apple because they have all these Apple products, is not the way to go about doing it. There's a right way to educate yourself and a wrong way to go about it, and a wrong mindset to have when it comes to day trading. I also thought that this was a pretty interesting note by Investopedia that says, of course, there are millions of independent day traders worldwide who work for themselves from their home offices and are able to earn a living. Millions. Really? Some have even become very wealthy, but there are no guarantees. Practice developing a strategy and managing your risk can help you get on your way. And that is the absolute truth. Managing risk is the #1 skill that you need to learn when becoming a day trader and actually being able to do it profitably. I told my folks in my morning mentorship today that, you have to tell yourself that you're wrong pretty much every single day. It's a very real thing to have a losing trade at least once a day. But managing the risk and cutting those losses early is really what's going to get you ahead. The mentor that I have learned from that's been trading for 30 years, has a 50% success rate when it comes to trading in the stock market, meaning that 50% of his trades are going to be green trades and the other 50 is going to be red. But the key is the cutting those losses early and letting the winners run. So that's where the real mastery comes in. That's where the mind game comes into play. And I think that's probably why a lot of people say that it's gambling, but it's really about managing risk at the end of the day. And it really just comes down to how serious are you about day trading. You can't just come in here and throw money at stocks and expect to win. That in and of itself is definitely gambling. Taking $1,000 and just throwing it on black is not the way to do it in the stock market. There are ways to be profitable. You just have to develop the skills to do so. And as for my own personal opinion, I never suggest anybody rely on one sole source of income anyway. Spread the wealth around, have multiple sources of income, and that's truly how you become wealthy. I can't tell you how many people come into the WeTrade HQ mentorships and then expect to be profitable in the first week, and it just doesn't work that way. Which, by the way, if you want to check out WeTradeHQ.com, the links are down in the description below. We'd be happy to help you. Look, at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is that trading in the stock market isn't an overnight success. It takes work just like anything else. You need a 4-year degree to be a professional in whatever profession you decide to do. You need tons of experience if you want to be in a trade, be professional there. And even to try to be a professional athlete, the chances of you being one are way less than actually trading in the stock market. So it just takes work. You have to have patience. It takes time to understand all this stuff. And that's really kind of the message that I wanted to convey here. I've never tried to imply to anybody that this was a get rich quick overnight thing. And it never is. If you go into that with that kind of mentality, then you truly will fail every single time. And with that, I will leave you with one final statistic, and that is the chances of you actually being born are 1 in 4 trillion. So how about all of you just act like the miracle you are? And that's it for me, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, I certainly would appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe for more content such as this. As always, guys, I will see you all before the bell, and B Smith is out. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to subscribe to this channel, make sure you click that little circle up there. If you want to see a video about business and barcasts and just being entrepreneurs, our struggles and our successes, click this link up here. And if you want to see more stock related content as well, you can feel free to click that box down below. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.